What's going on? This is All Love Gary from Tripod Sports, and today we're going to be talking about how good Shohei Otani can get. So some people are calling Shohei Otani the Babe Ruth of Japanese baseball because he can pitch really, really well. Like, he's the best pitcher in back-to-back years in Japanese baseball, but he also hit 300 like the last 2 years. He has the potential to be a once-in-a-lifetime generational talent. He's also only 23 years old, and he already has the stuff really to be a staff ace. I put his stuff up against Tanaka's stuff any day of the week. He's currently playing for the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. He has the fastest recorded pitch ever in the Japanese major leagues at 102 miles an hour. But this season, though, he's coming to the major, and he's really kind of a big deal. In 2015 in Japan, he's only 20 years old in 2015. He led his league in ERA at 2.24. So at 20 years old, he led the league in ERA. But also in 2014, he hit 274 with 10 home runs. So, he led the league in ERA that year, but he also hit 274 with 10 home runs. That's really impressive. But still at this time, he's really just known as a pitcher with a really live fastball, because the next season he only hit 202 with 5 home runs and 17 RBIs, but it was only in 109 at-bats. But really, you could start to see it. Again, he was like one of the best pitchers in the league. So he's like a Clayton Kershaw, the best pitcher in the league, but he really can hit. But 2016 is really when he started getting GMs and fans over here's attention. And this really when I started noticing him and paying attention to him and watching a lot of his game tape and stuff. On the mound, he was just flat dominant. He was an ace. But he also hit 322 with an OPS of 1,004 and 382 plate appearances. So he was raking really, really well, but also an ace of the staff. So that's crazy. So pitching that season, he went 10-4. So remember, he had 322 batting average and 382 plate appearances, but also went 10-4 with a 186 ERA, and he had 174 strikeouts. So Corey Kluber this year, the pitcher for the Indians, he led the majors ERA at 2.25. So Otani, he gave up a half a run less per start, but he also hit 300. That's just crazy. In 2016, the next season, he hit 322 with 22 home runs. So imagine the ERA leader, in the majors hitting 22 home runs. That's just unfathomable. That's unheard of. He continued that over to this year before announcing he's coming to the majors. So for his career in Japan, he has a 286 batting average with 48 home runs. And pitching, he's 42-15 with a 2.52 ERA. So that's incredible. He's not only an ace, but he's a legitimate middle-of-the-order batter at only 23 years old, so his potential to get better at both of them once he gets coaching in the majors, his potential is through the roof. There's talk he'll prefer an AL team so he can DH on days he's not starting. He holds the cards where he wants to sign, because he can tell a team straight up yeah, I want to start for you every 5th day, but I also want to, get 300 or so at bats. And if they don't give it to him, he can just go sign with somebody else. He's still very young, but he's played professionally in Japan for 5 years. He started when he was 18 years old, and he's really improved both his pitching and batting. So really, just imagine a guy coming out in the playoffs and starting game 1 in a playoff series, shutting somebody out, and then the next game hitting 3rd in your batting order, driving in 2 runs. So closing, I don't know what he'll really be, because with Japanese players, it's really hard to kind of translate what they're going to do in the majors. The only one hitter that I really can think of off the top of my head that just was dominant was Ichiro. But, you had your Matsuis, who had power years, and Shin-Soo Choo's, who's had a really long, productive career. And then, so to kind of take his top could be like an Ichiro combined with a Tanaka, if you will. But I really think it'll be fascinating to see where he goes. I'm a Cubs fan. I would love for them to try to sign him, see where he goes. He already has 8 potential, but he's going to get better. And he's got really a live arm. He's 6'4". He's not he's not going to try to finesse you. He comes at you and tries to overpower you. And he's already a really patient hitter. He's a 300 hitter, so with decent power. So really the sky's the limit with this dude. And I'm really excited to see what he can do. Even if he doesn't sign with the Cubs, I would love to see what he can do going forward. And I think it's really fascinating. So until next time, this has been All Love Gary from Tripod Sports. I'm out.